Entering settings screen, you have 18 options. Menu narration option is set to off is selected.
Hey everybody, it's the coach. This is Thursday Night Football on EA Sports. On tap, we've got what should be a fairly intriguing matchup between the San Francisco 49ers and the Arizona Cardinals. I'll see you again at halftime as we preview some of the action coming up on Sunday. But for now, it's Thursday Night Football. And on the call, as always, it's Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
We find ourselves at the home of the world's first retractable natural grass field as you get a look inside State Farm Stadium in Glendale. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fire Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the San Francisco 49ers and the Arizona Cardinals. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Charles, you look at this Cardinal team as they get ready here. They've been in a great group. Winners of 7 of their last 10 on the year. On the other side of the field for the visiting 49ers, it's been perfection so far. They come in here unbeaten at 14-0.
And just 2 wins away from doing something only 2 teams have ever done. But the most important thing for them now is to make it to the postseason in one piece.
The holiday season is upon us. We've got the gift of the NFL as we're underway here in Week 16. Fairly short kick, taking it to 14 here. And a nice return sets them up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. So out come the Cardinals now for their opening drive. They'll be led out by the number 1 overall pick in the 2019 draft from Oklahoma. It's Kyler Murray.
But when I reviewed last week's game and saw the 4 touchdown passes that he threw, I thought about you during the Turkey Bowl last year.
Yeah,
you guys
right.
had the same stats, except he got the NFC Offensive Player of the Week award with his.
He got touchdowns. I got picks. I like going back watching the film with you, and we thought it was a good performance in person. Obviously was, but you thought even better on tape. It was really something to watch.
Yeah, what I loved was how he spread it around. A lot of people involved in the passing offense. 4 touchdown passes culminated it.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. On 2nd down, Eckler. They'll only get a couple up to about the 30. And here are the offensive starters for Arizona.
And they should be set up for a big game. They have one of the hottest offenses in the league. They're coming in riding a winning streak, but we've seen these quick turnaround games really wreak havoc with what you've done previously. Hopefully they simplified their offense, and they'll just let their playmakers go out and do what they do best.
He'll get this to Eckler. And he stopped up short of the first as they tackle him down at about the 36. It's a gain of 6 on the play, and that's going to bring up a 4th down.
So much about this game is just understanding situations and then having to execute, isn't it? Guard the first down sticks. Don't let them get there. And they rallied and made the tackle.
On the return is Pettis. Great blocking, nearly sprung him there. 28-yard return. And the Niners will go on offense. 1st and 10. So here's the first drive now for the 49ers. They'll have Jimmy G calling the shots. Grew up in the northern suburbs of Chicago, went to Eastern Illinois. Jimmy Garoppolo.
Brandon, there's 2 weeks to go in the regular season, so you know the pressure is ramped up in so many ways. People have to win games, try and get their bonuses, the whole deal. But how about trying to close out an MVP award?
Just 2 weeks to go. There has to be a lot of pressure, though. We talked about that in previous weeks, sitting on his shoulder.
Yeah, he can talk all he wants about, I don't listen to that, and there's no pressure. All we're doing is trying to win games. He knows, we all know, he's been the one who's been leading the pack. Let's see if he can close it out.
Now, the first play of the drive there is incomplete. And the starting crew now for San Francisco.
And congratulations on their win last week, but they didn't get a whole lot of time to celebrate it on Sunday. They were right back to work on Monday, but you have to do things differently when you prepare for a Thursday night game. Because normally you'll take some time off. Here you get right back to work on the game plan mentally, and probably not put any pads on until you play again Thursday night.
And he is brought down, but not before reaching the 30. It'll go as an impressive 31-yard gain.
I know we love our jobs, and pretty much any play we see, we're pretty, excited about. But big plays, let's face it, that's what we absolutely live for. How about that one?
And this is caught inside the 5. And they are able to stop him, but he does take it all the way to the 2. Back-to-back plays of right around 30 yards, and the field position has totally been flipped.
Tell the truth, partner. You didn't think he was coming down with that one, did you? Come on, tell me the truth.
No, I didn't. I'll tell you what, though. He will find his receiver, Pettis, for a 49ers touchdown. 2 yards on the touchdown there, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter.
Brandon, my man, just one sentence for that one. Clinic.
And that's what they've done. They lead the league in points per game this season, but it's been quick strikeability as we saw on that drive.
I think they're actually intimidating defenses because they're back on their heels right away, wondering where it's going to come from, how they're going to hit them. This group is well organized, well coached, and extremely confident in what they do.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. Here's the Arizona offense now as they get set to take over. And the first drive, 3 and out. Second possession, see if they can get a little momentum.
And oftentimes that first drive is just a feeling out process. You have some plays that you've got called and you want to see how defense reacts. It may not go terrific on the first one. Now they're ready to go. They've kind of got to look at them, got a sense. Let's see if they open things up a little bit.
See if they open things up. Let's see what the defense does here, too, after a good stop. So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. Second down, Murray sets to throw. Open man is Kirk, complete. That catch good for only a yard, and it'll be 3rd down. This defense tightening up a bit. That last catch just 1 yard, making it 3rd and 9. Throwing is Murray on 3rd down. It's complete to Williams. And he's not going to sniff the first down here. He stopped at the 25. 2 yards is all they'll get on the completion. It's 4th down.
Well, the good thing about covering any game I do with you is I know that there's no problem with rhythm. Now, what we're watching offensively, a little bit of a problem there.
Yeah, punt on the first drive, looking at another one here. Just a little slow. You know, they were talking about a fast start, but that hasn't been the case.
Yeah, and let's face it, any team we cover always talks about a fast start.
That's true.
But it's not necessarily going to happen just because they say so. And whether it's the script, whether it's, just what they're going through, whether they're seeing different defenses, they're going to have to figure it out as this game moves on.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Working from the gun, Garoppolo. And the throw left sideline here is caught, but they'll rule it incomplete. Couldn't keep his feet in. 2nd down. Time for a look at our starters here on defense. We know they're going to be tough to throw on. Top 3 in the NFL defending the pass.
And the easy thought process is that stopping the run is the least of their problems because they're facing the #1 passing team in the NFL. But if they don't stop the run as well, then that just opens up the passing game even more. They've got to do both.
To throw once more on 2nd and 10. Garoppolo looking to complete it to Pettis, and he's got him. Touchdown, 49ers. Dante Pettis with his 2nd touchdown in this opening quarter. And the Niners are able to stretch their lead. Still first quarter, 2 receiving touchdowns for him. How are they going to slow him down?
I think they're thinking about altering their game plan. Whatever they came in with, now maybe you switch a better cover guy to him. Or you make sure you have more people in his general.
Oh, and it's a fake. They'll try and throw for him. That is caught inside the 5. And he'll get into the end zone as the 2-point conversion is successful.
All right, partner, one more time. Our whole lives, you put the ball on the 3-yard line, kick the extra point. 2015, they put it on the 15 to kick the extra point. 2016, they said, we're leaving it there. So if you want to fake it, that's a long way to go. And they got it done.
I was going to say, they had a 15-yard play in their back pocket.
You don't see that in too many play sheets, do you?
No. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This will be taken about the 12. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. Cardinal offense coming back out. Let's give you a look at the playoff race now. This is into the weekend in the NFC. And with the final fortnight of games upon us, teams jockeying for position. Some of these games really starting to take enormous importance as they always do this time of year.
I like how you use fortnight.
Hey, you're impressed, don't you?
I am impressed. That means 2 weeks, if I'm not mistaken, correct?
That does.
But how about exactly what you're talking about? Going down the stretch, how much importance is placed on these games? Look, everyone talks about every game's important. When you get to this time of year, maybe that importance gets quadruple. And that's where we are right now to see who can make their last run, their last push to get into the playoffs.
To throw on third down, Murray. And he's got his man out of the backfield. That's complete. And he'll be taken down as that will take us to the end of the first quarter of play. 16-0. That's the score after one on EA Sports. And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete. The tight end, Max Williams, the intended receiver. And that'll bring up second down. So line of scrimmage still the 39 on 2nd and 10. Murray looks to throw again, 2nd and 10. He'll buy some time right. He's got a first down and then some at midfield. And this will move the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the 49ers' 45-yard line.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the third one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
And he still has yet to get on track in this first half as they're going to stop him behind the line. On 2nd and 12, Murray throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete. Some of the fans here don't seem too happy about what we've seen in this first half.
No, not at all, and I understand why. They look lethargic, out of sync, and it shows on the scoreboard.
Here's Murray into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 38.
Let's go. Interceptions all day, baby. Let's get this.
Well, that's a drive killer right there. Not a really confident throw either. This one was kind of up for grabs, and it's going to come down the hands of the wrong team.
The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. And right now they're saying, hey, let's keep this going. 2 drives, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, can't ask for a better start than that, can you? I mean, this is the way you practice it. This is the way you rehearse it. But right now, the play calling, they're locked in really well.
A very solid gain of 27.
Here we go.
So into Cardinal territory now. It's 1st and 10 at the 34. Buying time to his left. Deep. And this is caught inside the 5. And across the chalk into the end zone. It's a 49er touchdown. Marquise Goodwin with touchdown number 12 on the year. And the Niners are able to stretch their lead. Well, they went play action there and set it up nicely for him. I mean, he can flat fly, and they hit him downfield.
And it doesn't take much to create that extra bit of space that a guy of his speed needs. If you go play action, all you want is just a moment where the guys covering take their attention somewhere else, and then he's by them. And once he's by them, there's no catching him. As they always like to say, if a receiver's even to a defensive back, that means he's leaving.
Unless that DB is Charles Davis, right?
In that case, he left me a long time ago.
Come on now.
Trust me.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This is fielded at the goal line. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. Arizona's offense at the line, ready to get their drive started. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here, or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either.
Catch number 44 on the year. It's a first down.
One of the advantages of zone defense, as I remember it, is being able to see the play develop in front of you. One of the disadvantages, when they find those levels where they can hit you with it, sometimes behind the corner and in front of the safety, it makes it tough to defend.
No gain on the play there. Second down. Looking to throw on second down. Murray throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete. Amari Cooper, his intended receiver, and now it's third down. They had the incomplete pass on second down. Now they need a big play here. Third and 10. Rolling to his right. He can run for it, and he will. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. Opted to run for it. The decision a good one. Picking up the first, getting 14 yards on the scramble. So the 14 yards actually takes him from 143 to the other for first and 10. Murray now to throw. And that'll be knocked away. It's incomplete. Amari Cooper, the intended target. But it's going to be second down. So second down, still 10 yards to go. Ball on the 43. Now Murray. Toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete. Cooper again the target. And it'll bring up third down. The Cardinals on third down. 2 for 5 to this point. This is third and 10. From the gun on third down, Murray. He's going to find his running back. It's complete. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend. Shoves him aside and shedding through the tackle. Well, that looked for a second like he might take it all the way, but as it stands, it's still a massive return. And the Niners set up well. They take over first and 10 on the short side of the field.
Here we go, here we go, here we go. Like 80!
Garoppolo now, first down throw. Now on the run, he'll throw it back deep over the middle. And nearly picked off. Surprising to see a defender of his caliber let it get away. But it does get away and it's second down. To throw on second and 10. Garoppolo, the first catch of the game for George Kittle. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. 22 yards there, a first down.
Here we go, here we go. 80! Here we go, here we go. Here we go.
On first down, Garoppolo. That's going to be caught by Samuel. This game not quite as good as the last, but still over 40 yards between the two. Those are the kinds of plays right there that show you why he's the number 3 man in the NFL in terms of receiving yards.
Also tells you there's a full combination of what he's got.
That is caught by the tight end Kittle. Touchdown, 49ers. George Kittle with a lucky number 13 touchdowns now on the year as his guys continue to pour it on.
Well, the lost sleep that the defensive coordinator had all week preparing for this game, a good portion of it was trying to prepare for him because he's absolutely a phenomenal player.
And a lot of times around the goal line, they know it's going to him. It's just so hard to stop.
And that's where it really becomes difficult because you're exactly right. They know it's going to him, yet they still can't stop it. That tells you when you're a dominant player.
And, of course, on the two-point try, had the option to run or pass. They pass it there, and it worked.
Felt pretty straightforward, didn't it? An open receiver, ball's put on him, 2 points for them.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. It's a short kick, taking it to 15. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense. And in a spot like this, still more than a minute, I think if you put something on the board before halftime, that would go a long way towards helping them get back into the game.
There actually is something to the psychology of the game at times, isn't there? How much better would they feel running into the locker room, as you noted, with something on the board in a positive fashion? You're exactly right. It's a great opportunity to get that done.
Throwing again on second down. Murray. And an incomplete pass. That'll stop the clock here with just under a minute to play in half number one. So the incomplete pass on the last play, and that leads us to a 3rd and 3. They'll try to pick up the first with Eckler, and he's going to have a first down as he's brought down at the 44-yard line. Now the Cards going to call another timeout, their second, as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. To throw is Murray. He's going to hit his man out of the backfield, complete. It's a loss of 5 there, bringing up second. Now they got to get to the line quickly. To throw again on second down. Murray, and this is going to wind up incomplete. The coverage there too strong on the deep ball, and now they face a 3rd down. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete.
They went with the dime look that time on defense, just flooded the field with defensive backs, blanketed everyone, took away all the passing angles, thus the incompletion.
He's averaging just under 50 yards a punt as he gets this away. Oh, he'll field it in the end zone. Refusing to go down. Through an opening, and there he goes. 20. And how about this? He takes it all the way back. No time, no flags. A punt return touchdown and a stunning end of the first half.
And they kicked it to him. They kicked it to him. Well, it certainly feels like that kind of game, doesn't it? No matter what they do, it's going to work. That might be the absolute crusher right there. A punt return for a touchdown.
Feels like there's been a lot of crushers in this game. This lead just gets bigger. And now this will be the final play of the half, as with no time remaining, they'll try and add 2 more to the lead right before intermission. And now this throw incomplete, and that is how this first half will come to an end. So we've reached halftime here in what is quickly turning into quite a rout. As now we send you out to Orlando and hook back up with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report.
All right, Brandon, 2 weeks to go in the NFL season. A lot of races coming down to the wire. Before we get it back to you guys, let's check out what we have coming up this weekend on the Week 16 NFL slate. One of the best of the early games, we'll highlight it there. The Giants in for a stern test at home at MetLife Stadium as they'll do battle with the Los Angeles Rams. Then later, they'll let the sun die down a bit in Tampa. A late start here in Florida, where it'll be the Buccaneers taking on the LA Chargers. And then one more to highlight, Monday Night Football. That'll be a good one between the Seattle Seahawks and the Buffalo Bills. In the game you're watching, it was Jimmy Garoppolo who was brilliant in that first half. He's thrown for over 200 yards already, and his guys have the lead as well. As we get you back to Brandon Gaudin.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. It's the 49ers out in front, and they will get the football first as well as we are back and started in the second half. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. Fights off the defender. And he will take it back only to about the 13-yard line here.
So conventional football 101, tells us if you don't get it back to the 20-yard line on a kickoff return, that's a disappointment. But some of these teams, special teams coaches, with approval by the head coach, they give them full authority to go ahead and bring it out and try.
And I think he's going to go. They're not going to get him. 30, 10, touchdown, 49ers. Dante Pettis, 87 yards, as his guys continue to put this one out of reach.
And this is obviously quite a performance. And most of the time when we talk about someone putting a team on their back, I think we're talking about a guy who runs the football. In this case, it's a guy out wide catching it, and he's done exactly that, truly leading his team right now towards victory.
3 touchdown catches. He's been the headliner. And now this is right in Kyle Shanahan's wheelhouse. He'll go for 2 here. Garoppolo toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
I know we could sit up here and dance around it a little bit. But going for 2 in this situation, somebody doesn't like someone else. There's no doubt in my mind.
Well, what they couldn't see is you lean back in your chair and you went, yeah, that's not a good decision. They didn't get it, though.
Yeah, I don't think you can just say, well, my kicker's hurt in this spot. No, okay.
Arizona's offense at the line, ready to get their drive started. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone. And
I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working, and call more of that.
Now a throw here on second down, and that's complete. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a third down. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on third down. Here's Murray as he sets to throw it, rolling to his left. And out across midfield down to the 45. And this will move the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the 49ers' 45-yard line. Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. Running on first down, Eckler. And they're able to swarm him behind the line, and his rough night continues. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on first down.
57. He's good.
A throw out wide caught by Pascal. And this will move the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the 49ers' 33. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. This is a counter play, Eckler, and he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down. Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's 2nd and 11. On 2nd down, here's Murray. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. It's a gain of 5 on the play, and it'll be 3rd down. 7th play of the drive upcoming here on 3rd and 6. Out of the gun, here's Murray. And that is incomplete.
This has kind of been the story all night long, hasn't it? An inability to really get much done on 3rd downs, and it's costing them.
And this one looks good. It is good. Right down the pipe. And they'll get back 3, but this remains a large deficit. I'm kind of surprised by that they kicked the field goal. I guess you get some points, but this deficit 3rd quarter, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't either. Yeah, I'm with you on that one. When you're down that much, kicking a field goal, does it feel a little bit maybe waving the white flag and just want to get out of here? Yeah, I think you got to go ahead and try and get some bigger points on the board.
Weaving through traffic, and now he's free. Touchdown, 49ers. Officially an even 100 yards coast to coast on the kick return as his guys continue to pour it on. Well, they're just having fun. I mean, they are clicking on every single cylinder, offense, defense, and here, special teams.
And how about the extension of the lead? This one felt a lot like, you remember Seattle-Denver Super Bowl 48? Percy Harvin to start the second half. Seattle was already firmly in control. Now, they feel like they can't be caught.
Yeah, they are firmly in control right now. Oh, boy, rubbing a little salt in the wound there, going for 2 up this big.
You know, there's one time when I played, Brandon, and played against a team that was just absolutely pile driving us, and they ended up going for 2 late in the game. And I asked one of the guys, why'd you do that? He said, because we wanted to win by more. That feels like that type of situation.
Wow. Well, it could also result in a melee later, though. So let's try this again. After the kick return, TD, here's yet another kickoff. This is taken near the 13. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense. They have been struggling. I would imagine at halftime they went through some possible changes. Well, those changes aren't working, so now where do you go?
I think that now it's much more in their head. And what I mean by that is just what you said. You've gone over the changes. I bet they were pretty clinical at the half, not too emotional. They might need to go to the emotional side because you've got to find something, some spark somewhere. And so far, just being calm hasn't exactly worked.
They need any spark at this point. On third down, Murray. And able to find Kirk complete. 60 catches for him now on the year. This last one, a first down.
In so many ways, throwing the hitch route is actually one of the safer things an offense can do. Get the ball out to the receiver as fast as possible, hope he's got man-to-man coverage, and hope that his athleticism wins on the perimeter.
The completion good for 3, and it's second down. And this should be the final play before the quarter ends. Looking to throw again on second down. Murray. And an alley to run. Murray fighting. Lost the football. And now this is scooped up by the 49ers. There he goes left side. And he will bring this one back. It's a fumble return for the 49er touchdown. Big boy earning his lunch. That's what you call rumbling with the ball, Charles.
Big man with football. He wasn't just earning lunch, Brandon. He was earning dinner. He was
midnight snack.
Everything that you could possibly do, he did it on that play to pick up the ball and go.
And now this is right in Kyle Shanahan's wheelhouse. He'll go for 2 here. Here's Garoppolo to throw. And this is going to be caught. Well, not sure about the need to go for 2, but they get it and extend this lead out even further. Welcome back to the desert. We're in Glendale, where the fourth quarter will begin with a kickoff following the score on the final play of the third quarter. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. And as this offense makes their way back out, it's AFC playoff race time as we give you a look. Murray now on first down. And there is Amari Cooper, his first catch. Give him 9 there on the first down completion. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. Throwing now is Murray. A good throw here, finding Pascal. 4 yards the pickup, first down. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Murray now on first down. That's into the hands of Pascal. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down. 2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on first down. Again, they'll throw with Murray. Throws this one right side to Pascal. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
On 1st and 10, here's Murray. It's complete to Williams. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. They only got a yard out of that last completion, and that makes this 2nd and 9. Draw play, it's Eckler. He'll get 3 up to midfield. Seems pretty obvious defensively a key was stopping the run game. How have they done it so successfully?
To me, it seems that these guys really did a nice job of paying attention during the scouting report meeting. And you know, Brandon, when they do those, they talk about the top plays that these guys like to run. The best runs for the top running back, those are the ones you focus on and want to take away. And they've done that pretty successfully in this game. They didn't get the first down, but I have to say I do like the call. I like what they were trying to do. Try and hit your receiver on the run and see if he can pick it up. Keep it on his feet, get a little rack yardage.
Yeah, but a nice job defensively to get to him and keep him short of the first. A great return there, bobbing and weaving his way for 31 yards. And out will come the offense as they take over.
Here we go.
The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. They go play action here on first down. Flush to his right. Looking for his tight end on the corner. It's complete. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. It's a gain of 34. So it's 49er football here as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Now the Georgia Southern man, it's Matt Breida. And some space here. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. And for them, this train, it just keeps rolling, doesn't it? Well on their way to yet another victory.
Yeah, it's almost a runaway, isn't it? And you just wonder how anyone could stop this. They got full momentum going, full confidence going. But it's not just their own confidence that is leading them. It's the lack of confidence against their opponents now because they see them coming and think, we've got no shot to beat this team.
Protection was great. He had time to set up a campsite. But in the secondary, though, they were ready.
And I think that in most places on the field, if you have that much time to throw the ball, someone's going to shake free and you'll find an open receiver. But condensed near the goal line on a two-point conversion, all that extra, there's not any extra field. So it kind of closes in on them, and that allows you to cover a little bit better.
First down, Murray. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Christian Kirk, the man he was looking for, but it'll be second down. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. Back to the air on second down, it's Murray. Now the pressure comes and he goes down. Just inside the 10, back at the 9. DeForest Buckner able to record his 5th sack of the season. Now that last sack puts Murray and the Cards in a tough spot, 3rd and long. Murray with a 3rd and long. Cooper's got it. And he almost gets this to the 30, taken down about a yard shy. A gain of 19 on 3rd and 18, and that'll move the chains. Throwing on first down is Murray. And the coverage terrific there as that's knocked down and incomplete. He was looking to get it into his receiver, Cooper, and it's second down. Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 29. Murray again, 2nd and 10. Toward the right sideline, but it's incomplete. Another pass attempt, another incompletion, and they're just a little over 100 yards passing here in this game, so defensively, pretty good job.
Definitely, because they were never really able to get the ball in the hands of their playmakers. So a lot of credit to the defensive game plan, and especially the execution.
Now yet another incompletion here as they fail to connect on 3rd. Well, this secondary has done such a good job of frustrating these receivers tonight. Another example right there on the deep ball.
Sometimes when the sun goes down and it's just the bright lights in the stadium, there's a little extra spring in their step, doesn't it? And that's what we're seeing from the defenders. Doesn't matter whether it's man or zone, deep ball, short ball, and that was
And he's loose again. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly.
Well, I've got to laugh here, and I really don't want to because the old school in me is not happy about this score this late, not necessary. But this is Madden, isn't it?
Yeah.
This is how it works.
Rub it in. Have a day.
I mean, what does it matter? These guys who are playing in this game, there are no feelings
Exactly.
there.
They don't have to face the guy. Well, they might if they're in the same room going head-to-head. But
that's
the
about
virtual guys on the screen don't have to face each other after this one.
In that case, run it up.
And this is going to be caught. So add 2 more to the lead as they continue to pour it on here in the 4th. And is there bad blood here? I mean, go for 2 when you're up that much?
If there wasn't before, there is now. When you do that, you've just announced to everyone, you just don't care about the other side at all. All you care about is what you're doing, and they just want to pile up points.
They did. So after the punt return touchdown, let's see what their opponents can do with this kickoff. This is taken at the 3. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. Arizona getting ready to go as they take the field. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in a game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
A big offensive explosion helped leading them to victory. And the defensive guys, they're just saying, hey, put those points up every week. We'll just keep winning.
They will gratefully accept them, won't they? It makes their job that much easier when they're scoring that many points. Allows them to play with a totally different style and a different flow.
So for the 49ers, they're now a win away from a perfect regular season as they move to 15-0. And they'll get a few extra days to get ready.
The young, incredible, honestly unforgettable. You a Joe like Chappelle show. This so perennial. Do this for my millennials. I be murdering any flow. I just had to let you know. It's the young, incredible, honestly unforgettable. You a Joe like Chappelle show. This so perennial. Do this for my millennials. I be murdering any flow. Yeah. I just had to let you know. Yeah. Give me that work and I can sell it. I put it on the line like I ain't selfish, nah. The story flip if I let you tell it. Put my heart and soul in so you feel it. I ain't never faking, I'm the realest since Tupac in imprisonment, claiming his innocence. Currently, I'm the greatest rapper in a sense. But any currency, I'm still guaranteed my wins. This is coming from within, I stuff for real, I don't pretend. When the OG spilling knowledge, bet it's best you soak it in. I'm a prophet to them scholars, got them chakras opening. Got them fixing up their actors, now they truly focused in. I'm seeing 2020 visions. Daily manifesting on my premonitions. Best to keep it neutral, got my own religion. The brainwash, gotta make your own decision. My word is James Bond, I stay on the mission. Coming for the top position, ain't no competition, man. Pull up in the top is missing, the opposition in. All that lane switching, this is what the game is in. It's the young, incredible, honestly unforgettable. You were Joe like Chappelle show. This so perennial, do this for my millennials. I be murdering any flow. I just had to let you know. It's the young, incredible, honestly unforgettable. You a Joe like Chappelle show. This so perennial, do this for my millennials. I be murdering any flow. I just had to let you know.
Hey, everybody, it's the coach. You're tuned in to Sunday Night Football on EA Sports. Straight ahead, we've got a great one on tap between the Seattle Seahawks and the San Francisco 49ers. I'll join you again at halftime to look at some of these stats and scores from earlier this afternoon. But for now, it's Sunday Night Football. And on the call, as always, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach. EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the so-called Silicon Valley and Levi's Stadium in Santa Clara. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Seattle Seahawks and the San Francisco 49ers. With Charles Davis, as always, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, you talked about storylines in this one. I think it begins and ends with our two quarterbacks, certainly two of the best in the business.
And nowadays, I don't think you get by for long periods of time without a top-flight quarterback. The way the game is played, with all the responsibility he has and how the game flows through him, if he's not on the top of his game, your team's not going to benefit at all.
NFL season, Week 17 is underway. That's fielded in the end zone. And he's got some space here. He's at the 40, past the 20. Touchdown, 49ers. That kickoff return, 104 yards, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. So a heck of a start to this one. We haven't even gotten settled in already in the end zone on the opening kickoff.
And you know what happens, too? Now you got to translate what that means, because I think for the team that just scored, their defense, I think they'll be more aggressive now. They'll be bolder. They're playing with a lead and an early one and some momentum. So if you're the offensive coordinator on the other side of the field, you'd better be prepared for some heavy pressure coming your way. They're going to try and get another big score and a big one early.
So now after the opening kickoff is brought back, the offense is going to take the field for the first time, but it'll be for a two-point conversion. And he'll get into the end zone as the two-point conversion is successful. And you talk about coming out and making a statement. Not only do you return the thing to the house, you go for two and get it.
And how about how the rules have changed starting with the 2015 season where you could go for two from the 2-yard line instead of kicking it from the 15? We thought that would promote more aggressiveness. We saw it right there.
So now the other return teams out there as they'll try to duplicate what they just saw. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. So out come the Seahawks now for their first possession. They're led onto the field by their quarterback, a man who's made quite the name for himself in the NFL, and that's Russell Wilson.
Coming off of a loss their last time out, I think he's just seeking to make a bigger impact on the game. He threw a touchdown pass, didn't throw an interception. I think he just wants to jump those numbers up in terms of flinging it around and letting his receivers get into the end zone.
This is the Oklahoma State alum, Chris Carson. Call it officially a loss of 2 on the first play from scrimmage. Second down. First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. Out of the gun. Here's Wilson. It's caught. Block it. No gain that time on the completion, and it'll be 3rd down. And with this offense, what about DJ Fluker?
Came out of Alabama, could play tackle, could play guard. He's so big, Brandon, I think he plays both at the same time.
Little trouble thus far on their opening drive as they come up on a 3rd and 11. Wilson after the play fake to Carson. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Nick Bosa, he continues to wreak havoc in the offensive backfield. Sack number 16 on the year.
We've watched this a long time, and I still don't believe we get it. 3rd and long, why are you calling play action?
Because they're not going to bite defensively, right?
No, not at all. I did have a coach explain to me years ago that for some teams, that's how they have to deal with pass protection and their line blocking. But to me, it seems silly.
Yeah, well, they're silly, and it leads to a play-action sack. Here comes Pettis on the return. A very good return there. Give him an even 20 yards. And this offense, they're going to have excellent field position. They take over with a 1st and 10 on the short side of the field.
Mike, here we go. 180!
Garoppolo now, 1st down throw. Dancing to his left. Oh, he's going to, that's caught inside the 20. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. Give them 32 on the play.
But we spent a lot of time exalting the offensive masterminds in this game, right? They draw up these beautiful plays. They look so perfect up on the board. But occasionally, sometimes you just say, throw it up and let him go get it. How about that play?
Now a throw to the end zone on 1st down, but it winds up incomplete. And a quick look now at the offense for the 49ers.
And a big key is going to be how can these wideouts create separation from the defensive backs? Because we've seen some early success in the passing game in this one, and that's going to need to continue.
Garoppolo after the fake give to Breida. And he will find his receiver, Pettis, for a 49ers touchdown. Dante Pettis there to make the grab. And the Niners are able to stretch their lead. An ideal start for them, really. You force the punt, and then you go down and score.
And you've got to see a fist pump on the sideline from the head coach, don't you? Because he's turned into his bench, and he's telling his team, this is how we prepare. Force the punt, go downfield and score. I told you guys, it's just like a boxer in the gym preparing for the fight. Now we get to turn it all loose.
So 2 successful two-point tries now for them.
And you know what it does? It gives you a boost, a huge one for your team because, hey, you're dominating them now. They can't stop you either scoring touchdowns or two-point conversions. But how about the defense? You don't know what to do at this stage. You can't stop them in any direction.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This is taken at his 4. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line.
Let's go!
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game. And typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything, at least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. A look now at the starters on this 49er defense. They were excellent a week ago in the victory over Arizona.
Anytime you can hold a team to less than 10 points, your expectation of winning that game is sky high. In fact, you'd absolutely be stunned to come away with a loss.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. This is Carson. And he's dropped right at the 40. Gain of 3.
Well, that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short game.
This complete to Lockett.
Let's go,
I don't care how many times we say it, I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. First down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation.
Had the completed pass, but for no gain, stopped right at the line, so it's 2nd and 10. They run it with Carson. The second down play, not much better than the first, just a gain of 1 there.
57. Mike, 57.
On 3rd down, Wilson. And this is going to be incomplete.
Anytime a ball's thrown in the middle of the field and it's popped up in the air, I expect someone to catch it. Doesn't matter whether it's offense or defense because there's usually a great amount of bodies in that part of the field. In this case, no one came up with it.
And Myers able to knock it through. And they'll at least get on the board here, still trailing, but 16-3 now. So chalk that down as an 8-play drive capped with a field goal.
Yeah, as a friend of mine used to say, they were moving and grooving for a while, but they couldn't keep the momentum going enough to get a touchdown out of it.
And there he goes again. Touchdown, 49ers. Call that a 96-yard house call on the kick return. And the Niners are able to stretch their lead.
I can't help it, partner. I get fired up. 2 kickoff returns for touchdowns in the same game. This is fun to watch.
Yeah, we call a lot of games in a lot of different places. Sometimes it seems like we do it simultaneously, but we rarely get to see this. Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete. The 3rd time wasn't a charm. They got the first 2 two-point tries, still have the lead, but couldn't get the 3rd.
Okay, so they didn't get this one, but I have to ask you, what matchup are they seeing that they feel that confident to go for 2 so often?
Yeah, and we talk about this a lot, but it has to be something, you're right, that they saw all week, correct?
definitely game planned for, felt good about being aggressive and going for it. And right up until that one, they had gotten 2 for 2.
Wilson and the Seahawks take over now, 1st and 10 at their own 21. They'll start out on the ground with Carson. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down. Ready for the 2nd quarter, and it's our visitors with the football as they've got it with a 2nd and 10. Seahawk football here to start quarter number 2 as they've got it with a 2nd and 10. And he'll be upended after a gain of 5, up to the 25-yard line. The Seahawks on 3rd down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This will be 3rd and 5. From the shotgun, Wilson, and Dixon has it. And they'll get him down about 3 yards short of the first.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. Able to fight through one tackle. Breaks free again. Excellent work on the run back there. 33 yards. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. The San Francisco offense ready to start their next drive. Here's Garoppolo on 1st and 10. Being chased out left. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete. The veteran Jason McCourty there to make sure that one didn't find its target. Line of scrimmage, again the 37 as they line up 2nd and 10. And this winds up a pickup of 2, maybe 2.5 to about the 39. After getting stuffed on 1st down, not much better there. 2-yard gain.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play.
And he's got daylight. It's a foot race. Touchdown, 49ers. Matt Breida with another touchdown, number 24 on the year. And the Niners are able to stretch their lead. And on that long run, maybe the defense caught napping a little bit.
The concentration level may not have been there. I agree with you on that one because those types of plays, when they result like that, they're almost like big bolts of lightning, aren't they? Whoosh, and off he goes.
Robbie Gould on for the extra point. Oh, and it's a fake. They'll try and throw for it. This will be caught just inside the 10. And he is into the end zone to bump the lead up 2 more.
Partner, they're up big. They snap the ball from the 15 for a regular PAT, yet they fake it and get it. Is the kicker's leg tired? What's going on here?
I don't know, but defensively, now with this deficit, now you add 2 more onto that, they fake the PAT. That stings a little.
It definitely stings, and I know the guys that I played for, they wouldn't be as mad at the opposition as they would have been at us for allowing that to happen.
This is taken near the 13. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. It's been very much a slow start for them. 3 drives and just the 3 points, CD.
Yeah, if you're into the points per drive ratio, that answer is...
He's got a man, complete. A gain of 32 that time.
Let's go. We always talk about the guy who paid off the play, don't we? A guy who caught it or ran it. But how about the elements that go into making a big play? This one in particular, able to scan the field, pocket held up nicely. What a terrific job by the offensive line. The route well run, and the football right on the money.
Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. On 2nd and 9, Wilson. He'll lock it with a grab over the middle. And this will move the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the 49ers' 17-yard line. An inaugural trip to the red zone here for the Seahawks. They've got a 1st and 10 at the 17. Throwing is Wilson. Completes it to Dixon. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. Coming up in a couple of minutes, we'll get you to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. The coach will have stats and scores from earlier today in the NFL. He'll find Metcalf. And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line. 70th catch for him on the year, and like so many others, this goes for a first down. This is first and goal, and a golden chance to get a score back here before halftime. Now, here's a look for the end zone, but that one's going to wind up incomplete. Tyler Lockett was the target there, but it'll be second and goal. The line of scrimmage, once again, the 5 as they get ready for second and goal. To throw is Wilson, and down he goes. Pressure gets him back at the 14.
Second goal, last thing you need to do is get pushed backwards to take a sack. But he couldn't find anywhere to go with the football. Had to eat it and ended up on the ground.
On third and goal, Wilson. That's complete right around the 8. A gain of 5, but not enough. Leads to a fourth and goal. And for the second time tonight, this field goal unit comes out here. From the right hash, and this one just a chippy. Get to the football. It's blocked.
Please tell me this doesn't come off as snarky, but that's a relative chip shot. I mean, you've got to be able to execute that one. I don't care what they design on the other side about trying to block the kick. That should be 3 points on the board.
Yeah, we've talked about it before. If you're out at 55, 60 yards, low trajectory from here, you get that thing up. This should be 3.
Yeah, there's nothing routine in football, but this one really almost should be. Snap, hold, kick, ball through the post. Didn't happen that way.
So we've come upon halftime here in Week 17. As we'll send you back over to Orlando with our EA Sports Halftime Report, here's Jonathan Coachman.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. Welcome in, everyone, to our EA Sports Halftime Report. Let's get you caught up on what's going on around the NFL. We'll get started over at Mercedes-Benz Stadium in downtown Atlanta, where it was definitely a game with some intrigue, as you can see by the scoreline. Matt Ryan, excellent in the victory, as it's one that pushes his guys 2 games above 500. From there, we head north to Minnesota. Check on the Vikings at home at US Bank Stadium. And they fall in that one to the visiting Indianapolis Colts. The Vikes were hoping to finish strong. They could not get the job done. But they'll still be a force as they finish at 14-2. Lastly, let's check on one final game for you. And you can see they are scoreless as they play the second quarter. Meanwhile, our game has been a boat race. Very one-sided to this point. And for the call of the second half, let's get it back to our commentating team of Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. The final 2 quarters of the NFL regular season are upon us as the second half of Week 17 is underway. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. From the gun on third down, Wilson. Open man is Metcalf. He's got it. And he's going to have the first down yardage to the 35. His 5th catch tonight, and it's good for a first down. Wilson now 12 of 15 throwing the ball, 80% so far, and it's 1st and 10. There's a throw over the middle. It's taken in by his tight end. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. 23 yards on the play. So from inside Niner territory now, this is 1st and 10 at the 42-yard line. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or two shy of the 30. 10 yards and a Seattle first down. Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. From the gun, it's Wilson. Incomplete, but a penalty flag is down in the backfield. Let's get the call. So apparently some grabbing of the jersey there on the O-line.
Yeah, just look in the interior, and that's where the penalty occurred.
They're backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty. Here's Carson. And he's going to be hemmed in and brought down right at the line of scrimmage. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down. Draw play. This is Carson. Now Carson fumbles the football. And this is going to be 49er football.
They may have the edge on the scoreboard, but that hasn't made them passive, has it? I mean, they've dialed up a pretty good run blitz there. And Brandon, you know that all blitzes aren't just designed to get to the quarterback and the passer. Sometimes you're just trying to take away every gap, every hole that might be created in the running game, and they did it to perfection and caused a fumble there.
Took away the gaps, took away the holes, took away the football. Good starting field position for the 49ers as they have it 1st and 10 at the 45. A 1st down run, good for about 3. 2nd and 7 coming up. A gain of 3, 2nd down. Now a play fake. Garoppolo out to his left. Oh, a battle for it here, and this will be caught. They'll get 17 on that one, and the Niners have a 1st down.
On any given pass play, you never know exactly where your exit points are going to be. On this play, it was flushed to his left, still on the run, able to accurately throw the football for a nice 1st down.
And finally, down he goes as they work it inside the 10 to the 7. A big run there, 29 yards and a 1st. We've seen him break off a big run already in this game, and for a second, that one looked like it might be another.
I think that any defense would say, look, we can't let him get...
And he will fight his way into the end zone for a touchdown. Matt Breida, his 25th touchdown, tying Emmitt Smith for the 5th most in one season, as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. And he certainly played a pivotal role with those 2 TDs and why they're up on the scoreboard right now.
Well, someone's all about winning, aren't they? Because he's not worried about the number. Sure, it's great to have 2 touchdowns. And the bottom line is what he's doing is contributing to their lead. He wants to continue to do so.
So they're able to throw it in for the 2-point conversion. Sometimes that can be a risky play, but they got it.
Yeah, you always have to be careful here because if you do get it intercepted, it's returned by the defense, that's 2 points for them. But he identified an open target and put it right on him.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This is fielded at the goal line. And all that worked, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And last time the turnover on the fumble, and they were in enemy territory, so that had to be very frustrating. Down on the scoreboard here, can't do it again.
You nailed every part of what was frustrating. Down on the scoreboard, had a drive going, and pushed it past the 50-yard line so they thought they were in striking distance, and to come away with nothing, not a good feeling at all, to put it mildly. Now they can't afford to do that again.
Yeah, now can they get that bad taste out of their mouth here? They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Now it's Wilson. This one into the hands of Metcalf. They'll get 11, but still a little short. 4th down.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job there of limiting that and keeping him from a 1st down.
Yeah, stopped him in his tracks. points. There he goes, right side. And they will score. It's a 49er touchdown. Officially, that is a 99-yard punt return as his guys continue to pour it on. What a risk he took, but it paid off. I mean, he took that punt from inside the 5 near the goal line, ran it all the way back.
And normal coaching says you let that one go. Anytime you're inside the 10-yard line, you let it hit and hopefully bounce into the end zone. But as you mentioned, he took a risk, and boy, did it pay off in a big way. I wonder if they let up a little bit going downfield, thinking that there was no way he was going to return that one.
1 quarter remains here on a Sunday night. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you called before, realize it hasn't worked
Go to
so
something
well,
else.
and maybe try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
Oh, he's able to outmuscle him here as he pulls it in. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. It's a gain of 12, first down Seahawks. Now Wilson on first down. Here's Carson with a catch out of the backfield. Give him 6 on the play, and it'll make it a second down.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
Throwing again on second down. Wilson throwing middle, and it's complete. And he'll work it inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down. Wilson. That's complete into the hands of Carson. And he went backwards. He'll be down at the 30. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11. That pass play wound up for negative yardage, so here's 2nd and 11. To throw again is Wilson. That's complete to Disley, the tight end. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down. The Seahawks on 3rd down, lacking much success, just 2 for 7 to this point. This is 3rd and 9. Throwing again here, Wilson. To the right side and complete to Metcalf. And somewhat of a measure of revenge as he's in for the touchdown, but they still trail big time.
He'll take it, but he won't be able to smile about it. That's a whole lot of points still to be down, but congratulations.
And now it's blocked. This is going the other way. The big fella. He's at the 50. He's at the 30. The 20. And he takes it the distance across the goal line for 2 points.
All right, you've had to put up with me in this booth. I'm going to try and be simple this time and succinct. It simply has not been their night.
No, I think that fumble's kind of indicative of how this whole evening's gone, isn't it?
Without a doubt. I mean, they've tried, but nothing has ever really taken throughout the game. That's why they're down so big.
Following the botch PAT, they're set to kick this one away. This fielded at the 2. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line just across the 25. The 49er offense, they're coming back out onto the field, and we're going to give you a look at the playoff picture now into the weekend in the NFC. And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete. They're still throwing the football here, and obviously the incompletion stops the clock. That's a bad thing.
Feels to me like they're just keeping them honest on defense because you know they're going to stack the line of scrimmage and try and stop any type of running play. Short little passes may work in exchange of running plays. Keep the clock moving, keep them moving.
I guess you're right. If they can get some first downs, just as good as running the football. Garoppolo. Complete to the running back, Matt Breida. And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. So another score there. Often you talk about the three phases of the game. Defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game. And privately, the head coach will add a fourth phase. That's the coaching. And he'll tell the ownership that once he tries to negotiate a new contract off of this win.
They are looking strong here in the fourth quarter. And this is going to be caught. So add two more to the lead as they continue to pour it on here in the fourth. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll take it a yard or so past the 20, call it the 21-yard line. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. They are just obviously getting shellacked here in this one, Charles. What's the message if you're a coach for this final drive in a lopsided game like this?
For a lot of coaches,
be honest.
Don't forget today. Don't forget what has happened out here.
Yeah, use that as ammo going
Exactly.
forward.
Take a great look at that scoreboard. Realize how poorly everything went for us today. Coaching, playing, the whole deal. And never forget it, because
you're not going to want that feeling.
No, you don't want that feeling again. And who knows? You may meet up with this team again.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. 2nd and 10 now. Wilson. This complete to Lockett. And he'll go out near midfield at the 49. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets him up for third down. The last catch nearly got him a first, but it did not, and they'll try to convert on 3rd and inches. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. It's the former Seahawk, Richard Sherman.
So many times we end a game, and as we're recapping it, we're talking about what offenses did and how they won the game. Let's flip this one over. The defense, they frustrated the offense the entire ball game. That's why they're walking out of here with a victory.
And they're going to love to walk out of here with that as their final act, that interception. Good way for them to end it. Out on the field now, here come the 49ers. And a few kneel downs should just about do it. Now, defensively, they do have all 3 timeouts, but very little reason to use them at this point.
Here we go, here we go. 180! 54 Mike. And I'm coming after you.
They'll start on the ground with Breida. And he'll get this one way up just shy of the 45-yard line. 23 yards on the pickup there and a first.
Brendan, every great running backs coach I've talked with has always talked about when you have great vision, you're not consciously thinking about your cuts and your moves, you're just doing them. And I think that's what we're seeing tonight. He's got to run them into submission, hasn't he?
You took the words right out. That's caught inside the 20. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly. As he was shuffling right out of the pocket, you could just tell he was going to take a shot downfield. He had his eyes down there the whole way.
He certainly did. He wasn't taking off to go, right? When he was flush from the pocket, a lot of times you see him, eyes will drop, ball will get tucked, and he takes off, becomes a running back. But as you noted, stayed alive as a passer, tremendous body control, and a pretty good arm there, too.
Now Garoppolo and the Niners will come up and go for 2. Now Garoppolo to the goal line, but it's incomplete. So unable to throw it in for 2 from the 2. Let me ask you, as a former DB, what changes there around the goal line on a 2-point conversion as far as how you're defending it?
You just make sure you never back up and you never retreat. You establish yourself really on the line of scrimmage, put your heels on the goal line at worst, and if they're going to throw the ball, make them throw it over your head because they're going to run out of space because of the back of the end zone. Never let a guy catch one in front of you.
You're not ready. You're not ready.
Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. And he's got his favorite target yet again. It's complete. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8. They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. Here's Wilson. Dumps this one off to Chris Carson. And they're able to get this one across the 35. 10 yards and a Seattle first down. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. A big offensive explosion helped leading them to victory. And the defensive guys, they're just saying, hey, put those points up every week. We'll just keep winning.
They will gratefully accept them, won't they? It makes their job that much easier when they're scoring that many points. Allows them to play with a totally different style and a different flow.
So for San Francisco, they've indeed run the table here on the regular season. They finish a perfect 16-0, joining the 07 Pats and the 72 Dolphins as the only teams to ever do so. And now they'll have the week off as they get set to go after a Super Bowl title.
Big numbers, 100-minute bag, that's a big number. Big numbers, whole team counted, that's a big number.
Hey, foreign cars, foreign seats with the foreign leather. Foreign number, put the card in the ATM in the sad era. Yeah, flex mode, this ain't Southwest, this is jet. I ain't gotta shut the cell off, cause the iPhone don't got a jet mode. Bad need pesto. If you wanna come, let's go. We ain't going nowhere special. I just wanna see more desto. Hit your throw and I'ma catch those. Mexican, dummy pesos. Hit your sauce, I'll replace those. Number saved, no name though. We need more, tell them we need more. Putting numbers on the board, like them keep a score. Hey, 16 cars in my front yard. Hey, 30 on my wrist, bullet point to God.
Big numbers, 100-minute bag, that's a big number. Big numbers, whole team counted, that's a big number.
Yeah, wrist man, check the wrist man, got him hot. Hey, man can't ball like this, man. Lord, past the pig skin when he stretch a distance. I'm talking a few 100,000 yards, you just on your 5th grand. Run it up, 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 count it up. Hey, 100s and 50s and 20s, no 5s and no singles, don't count on them. Hey, she wanted like me cause I know she can't count on him. She try to be nosy and hit up my ex, she like, girl, you can count on him. Hey, we need more, tell them we need more. Putting numbers on the board, let me keep a score. Hey, 16 cars in my front yard. Hey, 30 on my wrist, bullet point to God.
Big numbers, 100-minute bag, that's a big number. Big numbers, whole team counted, that's a big number. Big numbers, 100-minute bag, that's a big number. Big numbers, blue hunts, whole team counting, that's a big number. hands up and hop at it, hop at it. Where you from? Where you post? You're popping your projects. Ain't tripping. It's you rumming. Look how far we coming. You can do it. Ain't built for the weekend. Sugar. One man on me. Get deep. Watch what you doing. I ain't damaged goods. Damn out the clay. Clay. You wish you could. This for the family. I'm up in the field. Saw it in my eyes, it was the Tiger Hill. Gonna jump off the line and see the flight of field. Rewrite your history off this line right here. Your best bet be ahead. This is to get rich